What is going on, Laker fans? Appreciate you guys tuning in. NBA fans out there, appreciate you guys being a part of the show. If you guys don't mind, please subscribe to the channel. We'll continue to put up as much content as I can here. And we'll continue to find Laker topics, NBA topics that I find interesting. We'll continue to put them up here. And I appreciate all the views. We've been having some great views. When I say we, really, I just mean me. It's my own personal channel. So continue trying to put as much content up as possible, but the views have been great. I greatly appreciate the support. If you can please subscribe to the channel, would mean a lot as well. Okay, tonight's episode. What do I want to get into? What to do with D'Angelo Russell, and then we'll talk about some of the attention and criticism that D'Angelo Russell gets. By the way, I'm guilty of this as well. I'm pretty critical of D'Angelo Russell just in general, so I'm guilty as charged on this one as well. But I'm going to actually make a case here more for D'Lo as I go into this. But the Lakers obviously got some question marks in regards to a lot of players on the roster, and they got a lot of stuff to figure out. And D'Angelo Russell might be the most important one of all of them. I know Austin Reeves is in the mix, Rui Hachimura. Go down the list, Dennis Schroeder. Go down the list of literally all the other players that are on the Lakers. They don't have many players right now under contract. July 1st is coming up this Saturday, and D'Angelo Russell is going to be one of many questions that the Lakers have. So, for me, let me give you my quick view on D'Angelo Russell. Part of this is going to be a little blunt, but I'm going to get into where I want to go here and the vision here on D'Lo. I'm not the biggest D'Angelo Russell fan. I'm just not. I haven't been. And maybe it's, once he was initially drafted by the Lakers, I had some expectations, and that really didn't obviously come to fruition. But it's all right. It takes a player. Sometimes it takes players time to get acclimated in the NBA. And the second stint with D'Angelo Russell, there's some things that I like, and there's some other things that I still don't care for. I think sometimes he has a too cool for school mentality, and it's unappealing. I don't like players that are not good on defense, and I don't find D'Angelo Russell very good or competitive on defense. D'Lo numbers as far as how he did for the Lakers when we were in the regular season, he was good for the Lakers. Played 17 games, averaged about 17-6. I think every Laker fan would sign up for that. But I was really disappointed and underwhelmed with D'Angelo Russell come playoff time. I thought the series against the Golden State Warriors or against the Memphis Grizzlies, he had moments, nothing consistent. Against the series against the Golden State Warriors, he had moments, but again, nothing consistent. And the Denver Nuggets series, I do not have to talk about with Laker fans because he was awful against the Denver Nuggets. So there really is no conversation out there in regards to that. He was hurting the Lakers when he was on the floor. The Lakers decided to make some adjustments pretty early on and say, cool, we're going to go ahead and stop playing D'Angelo Russell, a man that's owed $31 million that we traded for, that was supposed to be the third best player on the team. His impact really went the other way. While guys like Rui Hachimura, guys like Austin Reeves, guys like Dennis Schroeder, other role players stepped up their game, while D'Angelo Russell, I thought, went in the other direction. So D'Angelo Russell, maybe the moment was too big, maybe it wasn't, but regardless, D'Lo did not deliver for the Lakers, and they did everything they can to kind of keep him off the floor in some of those. Just the series against Denver, he was averaging 6 points, and I want to say 3.5 assists, 2 rebounds, virtually nothing for the Lakers against the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals. However, with all that being said, I know he gets a lot of criticism, and I'm one to blame because I give a lot of criticism. I just spent the first 4 or 5 minutes of this video criticizing D'Angelo Russell. With all that being said, I actually really don't know what the other option is going to be. So I hate to make decisions based off of you have no other choice, but Laker fans, you tell me what the other choice is on what the Lakers do with D'Angelo Russell and what they do in their point guard position. Go look at some of the other free agents in the NBA out there. it's the names that we've been hearing, but they're also very complicated to become a Laker, and you need a lot of parties to all agree in order for that to happen. I think on top of that, you look at, like, I'm going to go back to this, what the market is out there and some of the different players out there. I don't know if there's a better option for the Lakers than D'Angelo Russell. I mean, I hate this with D'Lo, and I think that this says a lot just in general about D'Angelo Russell, and I hate to see a player kind of put into this position, but it's the reality. D'Lo played 2 years with the Lakers when he first got into the league. Then he played a couple years with the Brooklyn Nets. Then he played a year with the Golden State Warriors. Then he played a handful of years with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Then he gets traded again and comes back to the Los Angeles Lakers. I hate to say this because his entire career has kind of gone exactly this way. He's an asset. And because of his age and because he was the number 2 overall pick, and he's had some success in the NBA. I'm not trying to tell you that he doesn't. He's been able to put up numbers so far in the NBA. I mean, he's had years where he's averaging 20 plus points a game. He's had years where 6, 7 assists a game, even 8 assists, or no, 6 and 7 assists are the assists that he's averaged. So the man has been able to put up numbers, but is he a winning player? Is he a player that you could depend on in a playoff run? Is he a player that you envision as a role player to an NBA championship team? That's where I think it gets incredibly blurry. But you tell me, if the Lakers were not to sign D'Angelo Russell, what's plan B? Chris Paul is gone. He's out with the Phoenix Suns. Dennis Schroeder, obviously, Lakers are going to have to eventually figure out. I don't think there's really many other options. And the way his career has gone so far, well, let's just sign him. And if we need to shop him, we'll shop him. Tell me that doesn't feel like that's exactly how this scenario is going to go for D'Angelo Russell. I feel like that we're in a similar situation with D'Lo that he's been with other teams around the NBA really for his entire career. He's an asset. He's a player that can give you, at least from a stats perspective and a number perspective, he can give you some points, he can give you some stats, but how much of that is winning basketball? And for the Lakers, who just got to the Western Conference Finals, how much of that is championship basketball? I think that part I'll always have doubt on that until D'Angelo Russell proves otherwise. And that's kind of how I feel about the situation. But I don't think the Lakers can let him go. I think you have to bring him back. I don't like the other options out there. I think getting a sign and trade. Would I love a Fred VanVleet on the Lakers? Of course I would. I think every Laker fan would. But to make that happen, you need a lot of parties to agree. So I think as I put here as the question, what to do with D'Lo? I think it's to bring him back. Is the criticism fair? I also think the criticism is fair. Both things can be true. And I think in this case for D'Angelo Russell, both things are true. Laker fans, am I too harsh? Am I too critical on D'Angelo Russell, or do you agree with me? What do you think the Lakers should do once free agency starts? Is it go make sure you lock up D'Angelo Russell? Maybe you can get him around $20 million, which I think last year he made 31. And I think his market has come down. Certainly has come down since the playoffs. If it hasn't, then what the hell? But give me your thoughts on what the Lakers should do with D'Angelo Russell. How much of a priority is he going to be, or should he be? And do you agree with me that you're kind of using D'Angelo Russell? You see what happens in the regular season. Maybe some things change. Maybe he's playing a lot better. Maybe he's a lot more comfortable with LeBron and Anthony Davis. Maybe things are clicking and you don't trade him once that, whatever that date is, December 15th goes by. But maybe he's not, and maybe he is expendable, and maybe he becomes a player that you do shop in some type of deal before the trade deadline. So let me know your thoughts. Would appreciate also, if you guys don't mind, to please subscribe to the channel. That is the most important thing. I know I try to give a reminder before and after, or as we get toward the end of the shows, but I greatly appreciate it. So if you don't mind doing it, please do. Thank you for being a part of the show. We'll get some more videos up here soon. Thanks, Laker fans.